Okay. So coach meeting. So I'll just start from the beginning. As far thank you guys for coming here to join us for this. Just to reemphasize this, the way to get questions is go to your to go to the activities on this Google Meet app. There's a Q&A section. Okay, so if you start asking questions there, I can answer it as I'm talking. If I see it in here and it's relevant to everybody that I'm talking about, I will go ahead and answer it right then, or I might miss it and I'll just go over it at the end. At the end, I think I'm gonna unmute it. Don't make me regret it and never do it again. But try to keep some questions brief, dialogue, respectful, and respect everybody's time. Okay, so we are going to this season some key things. Where am I at? Here we go. Okay, so first thing that I want to go with, so competitive sports that keep score. Okay, so that's mostly age 6 and up, 7 and up, depending. Um, One of the bigger complaints I get from coaches is inconsistency in rules. Okay, we have specific rule books that we follow. I'm an accountant, so I love rules. Okay, we have specific rule books for our refs. Okay, we have and we demand that our refs do coach meetings at the beginning of every game. Okay, please demand a coach meeting at the beginning of every game where you, the ref, and the other coach get on the same page of the rules. The rules should not be changing. If you guys yourselves read through the rule books one time, you guys should have an understanding of what those rules are as well. Okay? The season to season rules can change, but they're always updated in the rule book. Where we're at with the rules over the last 3 seasons, we really don't change many rules, only if it really feels like it would be good for the development of the kids. Okay, the refs know they're supposed to do a ref meeting. Again, they're part-time staff. Sometimes they feel like it's not needed. I'll just say some might think that, some might don't. So if you as coaches help them to help you, just to man that coach meeting. Okay, on that, as far as rule changes potentially, soccer specifically, we still haven't set the number of players that will be on the field. I'm probably going to make a final decision that on Friday, because we want to get the right perfect amount. Soccer is a sport where there's some more variability. If you add a player or take away a player, I understand why you might want to, might not want to, but we're still making a decision on some of those sports. So if it looks different on Friday night or at Saturday morning, it will be updated in the rule book. Actually, technically the rule book might be delayed a little bit, but the refs will know the exact rule for how many players are out there. It's based on how many players we have for each team. Okay. Um, so culture, I really do ask you, coaches. You guys all went through a background check. Okay, so we know that you're cleared through that. Okay. Um, but we also want you to make sure that you guys are not only teaching the kids how to how to play the game, which we'll go over how you can best help them, but we also want you to teach them how to be respectful, and because really this is where kids learn how they're going to treat other people when things don't go perfectly. Okay, the best time to teach your kids, whether it's your own kids or your team, respect is how you react to your child's team, and the ref when you disagree. Okay, so there are going to be bad calls. I can promise you there are bad calls in every single sport at the highest level with refs that make tons and tons and tons of money. Okay. I can promise you that there will be bad calls that you disagree with. I can promise you that there will be good calls that you are biased on and you disagree with it. Please stay calm and realize that this is not about that win. It is not about that call. It is about the kids learning and playing. It is the coaches more often than not and the parents that care more about the call than the kids do. Okay, all that we're doing when we're getting mad at the refs for their calls is, one, we're gonna make it harder on these refs to do good. Okay, we're gonna make it we're gonna make them do worse, and we actually lose our best staff that have coaches that get mad at them unnecessarily, because most of our best staff have other things that they can do on a Saturday. Okay, so things for coaches I want you guys to understand: we're not going to argue ref calls. We're not going to curse at our fields. Okay, but we are going to develop our players as people and players. While teach our kids how to respectfully compete. Okay, as a parent, your joy shouldn't be any different when you leave, or as a coach, it shouldn't be any different when you leave compared when you guys lose, whether you lose or win. Okay, so as far as helping you guys to coach, Okay, we have a lot of resources. Some of you guys might have stuck on to consider helping us coach. So I'm going to go over all the different resources that we have to help you guys to be a successful coach. Okay. So, and again, put some chats in here, and I'm going to open up for some audio that people can jump in with questions at the end of this as well. Okay. So here are the resources. The first thing, okay, you guys all received an email today that is pretty detailed with a lot of resources. It has everything in it that I'm going to go over right now. Okay. It has the mobile sports app, you name it, has everything in here. So refer to that email to get these. If you can't find the email me after this and I can resend that email to you. Okay. The first big resource that we have to help you guys to be properly ready to teach these kids how to play the sport is at this Jamboree on this Friday, Jamboree at 6 o'clock. Okay. After, at about 7 o'clock approximately, we're going to start our coach training. Okay. Where you're going to have a trained staff member. I'll just brag. I guess there's a lot of people to brag about. Zach, he's my full-time staff. He's on this call. He's going to be helping our baseball team. He has a ton. He's a high school baseball coach. Lots of experience. You won't find someone that knows how to teach kids better than him. Okay. I'm going to be helping with flag football. There's a lot of really good things I'm going to give you. I'm actually coaching in one of the flag football divisions this season. I'm going to be giving you exactly what I do to be successful with my team. The best things out there. Okay. We have a lot of really good coaches that are going to give you some very good specific training. Okay. The next thing that we have is the mobile sports app. Okay. We have the mobile sports app. So I'm going to open this sports app and let me share my screen. Okay. So everybody can see this mobile sports coach app now. So you have to download it, okay? i9 Sports mobile coach app on your phone. In the email we sent today, it has a link for Android and iPhone to download this, okay? In here, it also has everything that was in that email, okay? So if we click into here, sport practice plans, skills and drills, I'm just going to click through a bunch of things here. It has all these different sports. So I'm going to go into flag football. In here, it has the rule book. Okay, it has the different rule books for the different areas, so it'll only have yours. And it has the exact rules that we're following. Since I did click into flag football, I will tell probably the only significant rule change we've made in all of our sports this season is the no run zone rule we changed. So we have eliminated the no run zone rule for different reasons, and we've changed it to you cannot run the ball on 3 consecutive plays. Okay, in one particular series. Just a tangent for that for flag football. So we have the rule books here for you guys to read. It has all the rules, all the specifics of every single sport. Okay. For flag football, it has things such as a playbook. Okay. A bunch of different plays on what you guys can run. These are ideas to help you. Okay. Also, it has all these practice plans. Okay. This is from i9 Sports Corporate, where it goes game by game, different options that you have to do. What I actually would recommend you guys to use, though, is this one up top. This is practice plan and video. So every sport has one of these, okay? And it has a tab here for a video link where it has a bunch of videos. It talks through with about 3 minutes of simple principles on coaching. It talks through on how a basic practice plan, actually walks you through this basic practice plan that we have here. But truly, this practice plan, for the most part, you can follow all season, okay? Every sport has this, where it says, hey, for 5 minutes, work on doing this. 5 to 10 minutes, work on doing this. 5 to 10 minutes, working on doing this, okay? They're just a bunch of ideas to help you to be successful, okay? If you guys spend 10 minutes on Friday before you go there, you can go ahead and you can learn a lot in order to have a good practice plan. I would encourage you, don't just show up blindly and say, hey, they're kids, I can run a practice easily. Go there with a little bit of a plan. Okay. Similarly, you guys are authorized and you are allowed to run practices during the week. Now, I'd want to put a big asterisk on that. First, you do not have to run a practice during the week at all. Second, if you run a practice during the week, you should put zero pressure on any players to show up. Okay. A big thing with i9 Sports is that it is convenient and Saturday only. So anybody that doesn't go and play during the week, doesn't go to a practice that you decided you're going to offer, you should not have the impact how they play, where they play at all. Okay? So that's this practice plan. Again, you click on this. I guess I'll go ahead and I'll click on it. And it has all of these. Am I still sharing the screen? Let's see. It's not. Let me change what I'm sharing. So, well, you guys get the idea. It's not sharing that, but it will open up a full video playlist of that sport. So you can see drills of how to hike the ball, how to run routes, how to do soccer drills, how to do baseball drills. So lots of videos on there. Now, I will just talk about one specific video, so you'll get this extra. One specific video, it's called what I call EDDR. Okay, so the acronym is explain, demo, do, repeat. Okay, so if I'm going to give everybody a little bit of how to coach at every level, okay, this is from age 3 to professional athletes. The first thing you do as you do in practice is you want to explain. And let me stop presenting this. Okay, you want to explain the drill or explain the concept you're trying to teach. Okay, you want that to be brief and simple. Okay, after that, and this might be done at the same time as you're explaining, you also want to demo the drill or demo the skill, and you want to demo that skill perfectly. Okay, so you aren't going to have one of these new kids go out and demo the skill because they're not going to do it perfectly. You want to demo the skill yourself. Or if you have a player that you know knows how to do the skill, have them demo it. Okay. Once they've demoed it, you want to do it a lot. Okay. So EDDR, explain, demo, do. So do it a lot. So what does do it a lot mean? So some simple examples. In volleyball, so more balls is typically better. Okay. In volleyball, you don't want to have one ball with a circle of 10 players because now that's one repetition per 10 players at a time. In volleyball, as an example, you want to try to get more often than not one ball for every 2 players. Okay. In football, instead of running one play at a time, this is why it's nice to have 2 coaches or even a third coach. Run 2 plays at a time with one coach telling everyone what to do, one coach helping half the team over here, one coach helping half the team over here. So you get double the reps and you rotate through. So you explain it, demo it, do it a lot. If someone messes up that drill, okay, you don't stop the entire drill at that moment in order to tell them how to do it better. Okay, you might give them a 4 or 5 word feedback as they go back into line, but you let everybody else keep doing that drill. After you've gone through that drill about 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 times, now you might stop, and this is where the R is you repeat and you do a new focus. Now that you've gone through the explain, demo, do, now you repeat. Now you're going to stop. Now you're going to re-explain something new. Hey, really good job on this, but you might want to do this a little bit differently. Now you're going to demo this new focus, and now you're going to do that drill a lot, again, with that same focus. So it is possible to do the same drill, maybe not at the youngest level because they'll get bored, but at even professional levels or high school levels, you can do the same drill for an hour, but by changing the focus of that drill, that's how you keep people from getting bored from it. Okay. So that was the mobile coach app, and I just went over some basic coaching. So 2 resources that we have for you guys so far. Let me open up this chat. Let me catch up on the chat really quick. People are asking about if they can't be at the Jamboree. No worries. The coach bag will be there at the tent when you get there to the field. Okay. Someone's asking about when you can reach out to your team members. By all means, you can go ahead and you can reach out to your team members already. Please do. Not just you can, I would encourage you. On i9sports.com, I will go ahead and right now I will repost. I just pinned it. That video shows you how to use the website in order to see how to get everybody's email, how to email everybody, how to get everybody's phone number to put them in a text thread. Okay. Let's look at other tools. So mobile sports app, staff assistance. Okay. If you don't know much about your sport, or you simply want one of my more experienced soccer coaches last season, he always had a second coach. Okay. Again, beg someone to use a second coach. He always had a second coach, and his second coach was going to be missing. One of my most experienced soccer coaches. He asked me to have a staff go help him for his soccer practices and the game. Okay. We're here to help you guys. More coaches allows for more reps, which allows for more development. More coaches allows one person can focus on subs while the other person is focusing on the game. Okay. So I can't give everybody staff assistance just for any reason, right? Because we can't have a second coach for every single team through a staff because we wouldn't be able to hire that many people. But I do want you guys just to understand, you guys are going to miss a week. Let us know and we can help you with a staff covering, okay? If you truly do not know the sport, let us know, and we can have a staff come out and try to teach you and train you in the sport. It is more likely that they will help you more, except for football. Football is more relevant during the game as well. But certain sports such as soccer, they might help you more during the practice and less during the game. So there's a certain balance where you will need to lead the team out to some degree. But the goal is that week one, that at some point during the season, you'll say, hey, thank you for all this. I get it. I've watched all these videos online. Okay. I've gone through the practice. I actually feel good right now that I can run this team on my own. Okay. So that's another resource you have is staff assistance. The other resource you have, it's within that link that I was clicking in there. It's a link that was emailed to you today. It has a bunch of videos. I've gone through every single sport. We've had different staff members do a bunch of videos with kids where we demo different skills. So let me just, no, I won't show it, but there are tons of videos on there that I've created that are pretty dang good. You watch, it goes over strategies, it goes over drills, it goes over skills. Okay. There's a few chats coming in, so let me pause to check out this some of these Q&A things. Yes, you can definitely ask about food allergies in a group text. Equipment on game day, we'll have all the equipment for you. We'll have cones, balls, you name it. If there's something specific that you want, right, we're not going to have some fancy, crazy equipment. So you, by all means, bring stuff there on your own. But we do have plenty of stuff there for you for a typical practice. Someone asked about what's a coach bag. A coach bag is just a bag that has all the jerseys in it and your coach shirt. Okay. So it's nothing that you necessarily need to worry about. It just has jerseys in there. And again, we'll have balls for you guys. Each practice, a lot of cones, you name it. If you don't think we do, ask someone for it. If they don't have it still, you can send an email and I can be out there. So some quick coaching tips for you guys. Just remember, the kids want to have fun. It's not an overused cliche. People, you guys worry about having fun. No, it's about having fun while competing. It's about developing. It's about competing but not winning at all costs. Okay. I talked about reps, okay? How important reps as this EDDR model. Explain, demo, do, repeat. Remember, you're supposed to do it a lot. The more reps they get, the more they learn the sport. The more good reps they get, the more better. More better, I don't know if that's a phrase, but the better they learn the sport as well, okay? Think no laps, no lines, no lectures, okay? The more lines, there will be lines, but you want to do anything you can to reduce those lines. If you feel like they need to do a warm-up, which a lot of times, younger ages, you really don't need to warm up. But if you feel like you want them to, instead of having them run a lap, have them run a lap while they're holding a football. Have them run a lap while they're dribbling a soccer ball. Okay. Remember, kids rank winning number 48 on things that they like most about sports. The number one thing that they do is just to enjoy the chance to simply try their best. Okay. That's been proven in multiple studies. I can almost promise you, coaches, that just about all of you are going to want to win more than just about every single kid on that team. I get it. I feel that every time that I coach. You need to throw that to the back, put your pride aside. It can be tough, but you put your pride aside and say, this is about the kids, it's about the kids developing, it's about the kids having fun. Okay. And that's how you'll truly enjoy the season the most. Okay. Sometimes you might have some more difficult kids that's keeping you from running a good practice. You can do a couple of things. One, you can ask the parents, hey, could you help him out here? But even better than that, because sometimes we want to get that kid away from that parent so that they can start to learn how to operate without that parent. That's a good reason to say, hey, can I have a staff member to come and help just this kid? So, hey, you can take these 7 kids and we'll have one staff member help this one kid for however long is necessary. Okay. Text thread. I said that in the early meeting. Start a team text thread. Okay. That's going to help you to get everyone there on time. Encourage everyone to be there early. Okay. When everyone shows up, greet everyone with a high five. Okay. As you're coaching, tell people what to do, what not to do. Okay. That's a good principle. If you fill their heads with don't do this, they actually think about what they're not supposed to do. and actually leads them to do that more. Tell them what to do. Okay? Let me keep going through some and applaud the good stuff. Okay? The last thing before I just sort of go through a summary, I guess two things. So we've already given out team names. If you really want a team name change and it's not taken elsewhere, in whether in your sport or other divisions, other sports, we can go ahead and change your name, but we want that to come in right away. It's very confusing and difficult on parents and staff if we change after week 1. So please email in a team name change for you if you really want a different team name. And then score input. So sometimes the scores do get input incorrectly. More often than not, it's the wrong team is put in as winning. That doesn't happen more often, but when there are errors, they flip the team. They say the wrong team won. So what you guys can do to help that, if your team wins, okay, I guess if your team loses, you can help also. But it's easier to remember if your team wins. Go up and remind the ref, say, hey, thank you, just so you know, my team name is the Cardinals, okay? And we won. So that just helped to make sure, because they're going to go and input into their phone right then the score. That'll make sure that they get the correct score and the correct team winning, okay? So the final thing I'll end with before I jump into some Q&A is ask for a coach meeting. And I didn't actually say this, we all send out a ref review every single week where you give me feedback on ref. So if you truly think that a ref is very bad, which can happen, and bad, I don't mean they miss a couple calls, okay? Bad meaning they really aren't controlling the game. I do want to know about that so we can adjust and train accordingly. We do send out a ref review every week. It's pretty simple, gives you 1 through 5 how the ref is doing. Give us that feedback. We might not respond to everything, but we do react to everything. Even if you have really good feedback, please give us that 5 score. Say, hey, he's doing great, because that helps us to try to keep him coming out. Okay, that gives us really, really, really good feedback. Helps us to know that they are running coach meetings as well. So with that, I'm going to go through any other questions we have. Someone's asking about different tiers for coaching. So we do have head coaches, assistant coaches. If your team does not have a coach, and you put yourself in as an assistant coach, we'll probably still put you in at, whether it's a coach or head coach or an assistant coach, you'll still be the only coach. So you'll still be essentially in charge of that team, but you just email us and say, hey, I'm the only coach, but I'm not I need more help. Just email us. And as I said, we will give you support at the fields. We'll get you these videos. We'll get you this mobile sports app to make sure that you can go ahead and be successful with coaching that season. Okay. If your team already has a coach, by all means, register. You'll automatically be put in as an assistant coach. We'll even ask you if you can be an assistant coach or not, which type of coach. You can be an extra coach to help that head coach out. Okay. Someone's asking about, hey, you've heard a lot about football, soccer, and basketball, and not one word about basketball. That's just random, just not on the front of my mind. There are plenty of basketball teams. Someone's asking that they don't see a team roster. Yes, so coaches can see the roster. If you don't, so yeah, this person that's asking about, hey, we haven't said anything about basketball. You are listed as the only coach for that team. So if you go to i9sports.com, check that video out that I posted, and you can see your team. Okay. I'll actually, at the end of this, especially if I'm reminded, I'll go ahead and I'll go on to the i9sports.com to show you guys. Actually, let me pause since we're to the Q&A. Let me open up the i9sports.com. Give me 1 second. I'm basically going to repeat that video, that 3-minute video, since a lot of people are asking about seeing their team. Okay. So I can't show you everything on here because it shows the names. But let me go ahead and share my screen with you. Where's my share screen? Here it is. Okay, so you guys should be seeing my screen right here. So if you go to my account, nope, if you go to my season, okay, you have this stuff up here, but you go down to coach information and you click on team roster. That team roster will have every player on your team, their parents' emails, and their parents' phone numbers. So that's where you can start a team text thread. You'll see everybody that's on your team. You guys also have the ability to submit scores yourself before the refs do. We'll normally update it on Monday or Tuesday. If our refs have something different, we will update it based on what our refs report. You have your team schedule here. You can submit your sportsmanship winner so you don't forget who got the sportsmanship medal. So every kid should get a sportsmanship medal over the course of the season. So if you have over 7 kids on your team, just give out an extra medal certain weeks. Okay, so make sure every kid gets a medal. They really like that, even if that means you have to give out 4 medals one week because it was missed a week or something. Okay. Some teams, certain areas do have only some divisions do only have 2 teams. Sometimes age appropriate, it's actually better that way. It just keeps them familiar with it. Someone's asking if it's too late to register. It is not too late to register, but certain division buddy requests are harder to honor, not impossible. They're harder to honor. Some sports are full, but there are still registrations that are ongoing. Okay. I did just show where to find the child's roster as a coach. That's just what I just went over. You can only do that if you are a registered coach. Okay. Soccer, I can just almost guarantee you that there are coaches that are still needed. So please go ahead and volunteer because, again, even if there's one coach, we can still use a second coach. If you don't see when you go to my coaches on that my season screen, it'll say my coaches. It'll give the coach information up there. If it doesn't show a coach, it's because your team doesn't have a specific coach yet. You'll also see that there isn't. I guess I can share me right here. 1 second. I'm going to share my screen again. Just have to make sure it doesn't give away children's information before I share. So if I share my screen here, my season, my coaches, it'll go ahead and it'll show your coach's information. Okay? So it has their contact information. So if it doesn't show anything there, it's because no coach is registered for your team yet. Okay? So please, if that's you, please register. And again, we can give you a lot of support to help. Okay? Someone's asking just about, hey, how do we keep kids interested in playing? Guys, the way to keep kids interested in playing is you don't lecture. Okay, that's the number 1 tip I can give you. Get them balls, especially at the age 3, 4, 5, 6 level. We do a lot of, especially for soccer, specifically, we do a lot of ball and me drills. So we have a lot of practice plans that are on those videos that were emailed out that are in the Sports Mobile app, which give you specific drills that are very age appropriate that keeps them engaged. If they stand in line, I can almost tell you they will lose interest. Okay? So that's where we want to minimize lines and maximize reps with the ball. Okay? Are parents allowed to help in practice? Only adults who have been through all the training background checks. Yes, we only want parents that have gone through all of the training and background checks to be helping in practice. Now, it would be very appropriate and good to get coaches, parents, hey, as balls go off, I need you to, I don't want to be chasing these balls on parents. Can you please help? Okay? You can go and recruit some of those parents. Hey, I'm the only coach. Please, I will do a lot better for your team for this team if I can get a second coach. I don't care if you don't know anything. I just need someone else to keep people in line. Okay. If you're not signed up as a coach, you cannot see the roster. Okay. So you cannot. There's no access right now to be a coach. There's no access to anybody to get roster information unless you're a registered coach. So when he was asking about creating a text thread to, even though you're not a coach, you don't have that access for that at this moment. You'd have to connect with them at the fields. But I would encourage you to, hey, please go through the process, become a coach. From there, talk to other players. Say, hey, I could really use your help as a coach as well. And again, if you feel like you're not qualified to coach, still do it. You'll be a voice for the team, someone to help communicate, someone that's somewhat consistent, even if you have to miss a week or 2 or 3. Okay, it'll help with the consistency. It will help with someone extra to help. And if you need us to help you, you just email us and let us know. Okay. So that's the end of the Q&A. I'll go ahead. I will go ahead and unmute. Some people's hands are raised, but I think that's just because some people just left their hand raised from way earlier. If I can do this properly.